Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. 17th of March 2023, Indian Express, the first editorial. Yes, see, daily I'm taking the date so that we do not miss listening to this recording of the particular day. Let's see what we have here. That is critic and criticism. Okay. So, you know who is a critic? A person who would criticize. Now, I'm giving you two words here. One is criticize. ठीक है इसके synonyms I'll give later if you want. And criticism, of course, you can understand. What I'm going to give you here is critique. Tique. Critique is what is written as a criticism, as an article on something written by the critic. So it is critic, criticism, critique, and criticize. Right? So let's start with the reading and then we'll come up with the discussion of the idea. But discussion of the main idea would be simultaneous. And we'll be seeing what kind of critical reasoning questions we can form there and then coming to the vocabulary. So, in a parliamentary democracy, it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the smooth functioning of the House, which is the highest forum of accountability and debate. The spectacle unfolding over the past few days in the second leg of the budget session is therefore unbecoming and unseemly. From this, what can we understand? What can be concluded? उसने कहा कि parliamentary democracy, it is the responsibility of the government to be very that means they need to maintain the decorum of the parliament. It is the highest forum of accountability and debate. But what is seen in the parliament in the last few days is something that is unseemly, unbecoming, and something that is not suited to the forum of the parliament. So that means now from these two parts of the sentence, we can understand, or rather two sentences, we can understand that the parliamentarians are not behaving in a proper demeanor or a proper conduct, as is expected of a parliamentarian, right? Union ministers have led the charge. Members of the ruling party have joined in. They are demanding that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi apologized to the House for critical remarks on India's democracy he made on a recent visit to London. They say he discredited India, its institutions, sought help from foreign powers to save Indian democracy. Certainly. Now, this is what Rahul Gandhi has done in the recent past, and what the people are saying, that the union ministers are saying, they are demanding that he apologize to the House for all these critical remarks that he has made. Fine. Nothing wrong in this. When the author says, certainly the BJP has a right to interrogate Gandhi. The moment he says this, that means he finds that yes, what Rahul Gandhi has done is not correct according to the country. So the BJP has a right to interrogate Gandhi on his statements on a democracy under siege and to criticize their dire tone and tenor. But to paint them as an insult to India and as the language of anti India forces or as a notice under Rule 223 by a BJP MP says a clear, calculated attempt to bring to Parliament the highest democratic institutions, the disrepute is quite simply overblown. ठीक है मतलब सही है अगर उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है we'll they have a right to interrogate Gandhi, but then when they accuse him of all these things to the highest degree, then that is overblown, right? It is also counterproductive. This is where the concern of the author comes. If the union ministers, if the people, if the ruling party, they are demanding all these things from Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, this one, according to the author, it is overblown, unnecessary, exaggerated. Second, he is saying that see, it will be counterproductive. तो इसका जो result है, that will not be good. जो कहते हैं इसका अंजाम सही नहीं होगा. So that is what he's saying, that it is going to be counterproductive. But how? This government claims to have made India more self-assured on the global stage, and its seasonal electoral successes show at the very best that these claims do resonate with its voters. That means India has made a good image of itself in the global arena. Surely Indian democracy cannot have such a thin skin at home while striking a more powerful, vibrant pose abroad. If India's image abroad in the global arena is of something that is powerful, something that has come up as a successful democracy, then India being thin skinned at home will not be fitting. So the last two, three lines are given by the author. It is his opinion, right? इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि thin skin होना means to be very oversensitive about these matters. So that means they can't tolerate anything. So if they can't tolerate anything, they are thin skinned, and if they are unaffected totally, they become thick skinned, right? मतलब कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है, इतना बोलते जाएंगे तो नो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा तो वो थिक स्किन्ड, और जिसे जरा सा बोले बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट हो जाता है तो वो थिन स्किन्ड. तो इंडिया इतना थिन स्किन नहीं हो सकती जब इट इज शोइंग अ वेरी पॉजिटिव नेचर or image abroad. Now, it would be a travesty if the noises within the BJP on taking action against Gandhi are taken forward. That means they are simply demanding now that Gandhi should apologize. But if the ruling party takes this matter unnecessarily elongating it, then it will not be good. So the party has approached the Speaker Om Birla on forming a special committee to look into the possibility of suspension. It must abandon the move immediately. So this, well, why to suspend Gandhi from the parliament? It is going to affect the government drastically, you can say. And therefore, this part of the sentence is given by the author that it must abandon the move immediately. ये नहीं करना चाहिए. It may well calculate that in a year of important state elections and in the run up to the 2024 polls, it would draw political advantage from cornering Gandhi on an issue where the Modi government is seen to be on sure ground. मतलब सबको पता है कि मोदी गवर्नमेंट सही है, गांधी को भी पता है कि मोदी गवर्नमेंट सही है, उनको अपोलोजाइज करवाना ठीक है, चलो कोई बात नहीं, उसको क्रिटिसाइज करना चलेगा, कोई बात नहीं. But then suspending him from the parliament, then he says that this will go to an extreme. Right. Therefore, he has used that word self goal. Abhi aayega idhar. After all, from its foreign minister batting on the front foot at global fora to the nation seizing the opportunities of G20 presidency in a time of uncertainty deepened by the war in Ukraine, India is asserting itself as a more deft world player with increasing success. Okay, I underline this sentence that say all these things that India is doing, its image abroad is quite strong. Why does India need to worry now? So, in this context, Gandhi's statements of a democracy in danger do sound too apocalyptic. ठीक है, प्रिटेंशियस लगते हैं, मतलब कि ऐसा हाइपर वाला सेंटेंस लगता है कि हाँ डेमोक्रेसी इज इन डेंजर. अब उन्होंने बोल दिया तो मतलब वी कैन डू एनीथिंग अबाउट दैट नाउ, बट देन द ऑथर सेज दैट सी इट साउंड्स too apocalyptic apart from constituting intellectual and political dead ends, right? So it consists of the dead ends also. Dead end means you can't it's an impasse, you can't come back. Sorry, you can't go ahead, you have to come back. And yet by inflating its indignation and outrage, inflating यानी unnecessary बढ़ा देना, जैसे इन्फ्लेशन होता है. इंडिग्नेशन मीन्स टेम्पर, उसमें जो एंगर है, तो अपना एंगर, अपना गुस्सा, अपना आउटरीच को बढ़ावा दे देना इन इस बात पर. एंड बाय यूजिंग इट टू स्टॉल डिबेट, the BJP and its government would only be scoring a self goal. Even if the even if the ruling party is successful in making Mr. Rahul Gandhi apologize, and even if it gets him suspended, all fine, but it is going to be counterproductive on the ruling party only. The author says that if the ruling party is coming up with so many positive things, then why does it need to worry, right? Even if it is successful, it would be only like scoring a self goal, apart from showing a narrowness of spirit that is ill fitting in an open and argumentative डेमोक्रेसी. तो आप आर्ग्यूमेंट करो, रीजंस पूछो, रीजंस बताओ कि आपने क्या क्यों गलत बोला, क्या बोला, बट कंजर्वेटिव माइंड लगेगा जबकि हम ओपन एंड आर्गुमेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी हैं. The Modi government has frequently paid homage to Parliament and underlined its importance. Paid homage to a parliament means it considers parliament to be the supreme, the highest. And it has underlined its importance also. So when the opposition makes accusations of the muting of microphones and expunging of portions of speech, expunging is erasing. We have done this word. It is a government that cuts a sorry figure, not its intended target. तो जब opposition ये सारी चीजें accuse करती है, then it is a government that cuts a sorry figure. मतलब it is government seems to be at fault, और एक sorry figure उसको बोलते हैं कि अब helpless है, you can't do anything about it. Contest Rahul's despairing speech on democracy, but calling for his suspension over it is undemocratic. That means it is not according to democracy. क्यों? क्योंकि हम एक ओपन एंड आर्गुमेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी है. आप उसे गलत साबित कर लो, आप उसको बोलो कि ये सब आपने गलत लिखा है, इट इज सेड राइट, देन so have a contest, that means argue over it, but to going to the point of suspension is uncalled for, right? And that is undemocratic. So now, if the questions would be like, what did the author assume? What can we conclude? What can be inferred? So when you just go through this passage again, if you want to, you can see what was understood from the passage. Okay, that this action of the government or of the union ministers who are calling for the suspension, that is not required. Right? They're calling for the suspension. They are telling Mr. Rahul Gandhi to apologize. ये सारी demanding, rather telling भी नहीं, demanding him to apologize. ये सब बातें जो हैं, इससे हम क्या infer कर सकते हैं? That these people are quite angry, indignant. They disapprove of Gandhi calling our nation as, what did he say? Wait, I'll go back to that paragraph here. Calling our nation, उन्होंने एक कहा था here, a democracy under siege, and to criticize their dire tone and tenor. So, dire tone and tenor means from this we can infer that the way Mr. Rahul Gandhi spoke in London was something like as though we are in a very miserable condition and we need somebody, some foreign country to help us. वो इस तरीके से हमें ये समझ में आता है कि this is what he must have done, right? तो वो dire tone and tenor से we can interpret it. Come on. Let's come to the main idea now. Contest Rahul's despairing speech. Here, despairing is loss of hope. So what he said was that, see, we are unable to do anything, so kindly come and help us. तो ऐसा सुन के भी बड़ा गुस्सा आ जाता है. अगर एक इंडियन सिटीजन को गुस्सा आता है तो फिर definitely the MPs also will be so. But then what the author says is that do not go to cross the limits, means do not go to the extreme of this. Let this matter die, because you have better things to do instead of making this counterproductive or just stalling the time. Say एक sentence भी दिया था, stalling the debate. So you're not stalling the debate. Stall का मतलब होता है उसे और postpone करना. So they were not stalling the debate. Sorry, they were stalling the debate in unnecessary things. So he says that contest Rahul's despairing speech, but BJP must drop its move to suspend him from the house. It's a self goal and it is wrong. Very clearly the author said कि ये self goal है, मतलब हमें पता है कि हम जीत रहे हैं, फिर भी हमने वो कर दिया. और self goal कैसे था होगा कि हमने अपने ही गोल में बॉल कर दी है, इसका मतलब खुद गोल बना दिया है और ये काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव हो जाएगा. देन इट्स गोइंग टू अफेक्ट द रूलिंग पार्टी in a negative way. And the reasons he gave. So, coming to the vocabulary, yes, you saw we had highlighted many words there. So, we have almost 15 words. Spectacle word we have done earlier, it's a sight view, something that is shown or something that you can see. वो spectacle हो जाएगा, something that is seen. Unbecoming is indecent, unsuited, unflattering, right? The color is unbecoming you, मतलब ये color तुम पे suit नहीं करता, fit नहीं होता है color, तो इसलिए हम उसको unbecoming कहते हैं. Becoming you means it suits you. Siege is the blockade, barricade or obstruction. This again word we have done. Dire. Dire states होता है. Horrible, miserable, terrible. Tenor. Tenor से you can relate to tone. Tone से sense आ जाएगा. Intention, theme. Whatever you can write. Resonate में you have the word sound and that is sound. So resonate is resound. Resound होगा तो echo word हो जाएगा और echo होता है तो फिर vibration भी होता है. Thin skin is getting upset at criticism. Vibrant, of course, vibrant is full of life, तो lively हो जाएगा. Vivacious, we have done this word viv. Viv means life. So vivacious, energetic. Travesty, it was just a travesty, is a mockery or a sham, pretense, or farce. Farce, you know the word mockery, you know the word pretense. Possible है that you do not know sham or farce. So kindly write it because travesty, जब हम टोन्स करेंगे तब आता है ये farce या farcical tone and style, right? So it is mockery or farce. Deft, of course, you know, deft is adroit. You are very excellent, talented at something. Right. So it is adroit, swift, quick हो जाता है और nimble. Nimble footed dancer. Apocalyptic, impending disaster. Impending disaster. Dead ends means cul-de-sac, impasse. Indignation हमें पता है anger, annoyance, outrage, exasperation. Expunging, you can write expunge का मतलब I had given you earlier, I think so. इसको sponge के साथ relate कर लो, it is going to erase everything. So the easiest word is erasing. Expunging will be erasing. And cut a sorry figure is to create an unfavorable impression or present oneself poorly or negatively. That is what is to cut a sorry figure is. Right. I hope you have written this down now. And so that's all for today. And see you tomorrow. Okay.